my name is Kim Zeiger. I'm here with the Puyallup Public Library to teach you step-by-step how to draw, decorate, and create an origami monster eye. The tools you're going to need for this project are a Sharpie, black Sharpie is the best, a pencil. I like using a white charcoal pencil. If you don't have one though, you can use a white crayon, scissors, eraser, crayons. I like lids to make a circle for the iris of the eye, and then scrap paper, and I'll show you how I'm using those. You're also going to need some copy paper. First off, I'm going to show you how to make a square with copy paper. Copy paper is what you use with your printer, and I'm going to show you on a different piece of paper than the white normal color, just so you can see it a little better. To create a square with your rectangle shape, you're going to take one corner to the edge, create a triangle with your fold so it looks like this, crease it down, and then where there's this strip of paper here, that will be cut off with your scissors, and you'll have a rectangle piece left over that you don't need for this project. Once you have your square created, you'll already have a fold in it, and you're going to go on a fold the other direction, corner to corner, crease, and now you have 4 equal triangles that you have formed with those folds. Now you're going to take one corner and bring it to the center crease and fold it. Go to the other side, bring it to the center fold and crease. You now have a hexagon that looks like this. You're going to bring another fold towards that center on both sides and crease, and it will look like this. You're going to open it up, bring that little triangle on the very tip in, and refold that to the center. Again on the other side, bring that tip in, crease, and bring that fold to the center. Your hexagon will look like this, a long, thin hexagon. Now what you'll do is you turn it over, and you're going to bring this tip to the center fold and crease it. And your folds will be getting heavy here, and it might be a little bit difficult to do, but just press harder, or you could even use the side of your scissors to help press it down. Then you open it up again and open up the outside flap. This is the area where you're going to draw the eye for your monster. To draw your eye, I like to use lids to make my circles round. This is a milk jug lid or an orange juice lid, and just put it right in the middle of those folds. Take your Sharpie, trace around that center circle, and you have a nice circle shape. If you want another color for your eye, you can put it another circle and trace around another lid for a little bit bigger. And if they're off center, that's okay. Monsters don't necessarily have centered eyes. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to decide what kind of monster eyes you want. Here are some selections of monster eyes you can choose from. Any of these could be a monster looking eye. Even this that was a ceramic eye could be made into just an X in the middle. That could be an eye. Or you could make it more realistic, and I'll show you that later. For the monster eye, you're going to want to have the iris of the eye chosen for a different color besides black. And I use my crayon box here, and I like to use 2 different colors. I used a orange on the outside here, and then I brought it into a yellow. Because that's not a human's colored eyes, it's more of a monster's colored eyes. And so I'm going to start with a dark orange and a yellow. Actually, this is a red orange, and I'm going to color on the outside of the outside circle. Then as I get closer to the center, I can bring in the yellow, and I overlap. I overlap the colors, meaning the yellow goes over the orange. And if you even wanted to get a yellow-orange color or a different color of orange, you could, just to bring in a little more depth of color and interest. For the pupil of my eye, I'm going to leave a little white speck because I want it to look more realistic. And that's the part I use my white charcoal pencil or white crayon for, to make it more white. If you look at your eye in the mirror or look at your friend's eye, you'll see a little gleam in their eye, a little white speck. It's reflection from the light. And then for the center, you can use your Sharpie. It's best not to use Sharpie over crayon because crayons are waxy and Sharpies do not go well over the crayon texture. It's better if it's just the black Sharpie shading. And if you want to go the other direction with the Sharpie, you can fill in every single black part of that center part of the eye. If you want to make lines to go outside the eyes, to make the eyes look red and bloodshot, you could use a red crayon. I do need to draw the outside edges of my eye though. I think I will take my curved line up above, and I stop where that fold is on the sides, and I'll take my curved line down underneath and stop where they come together. This is the shape of an almond. Then I will color in the corners of the eye. You can color them in dark with the Sharpie. And you can go over those lines a little darker. A thick Sharpie is nice to use because it really brings out the shape of the eye. Now I'm going to get that bloodshot look. I am going to, because of the colored paper, I'm going to bring a little bit of the white in between them. Although monsters can have flesh-colored looking eyes too. So, and I'm going to use my red crayon to get those bloodshot veins, those lines. He has not had much sleep, this poor monster. And there we have an eye of a monster. And I use this protection paper to help so your mother's table doesn't get Sharpie marks on it. You can use scrap paper. Now I'm going to show you what you can use scrap paper with again too for the outside of the eye. You've got to decide what you want the outside of your monster eye to look like. You can take your scrap paper, put it under where that fold is, so it looks like this. And you're going to draw the edge of where the eye opens. And so I'm going to blacken that in with a Sharpie line. I'm going to decide how I want my eyebrow of my monster eyes to look. I think I'll make triangular looking eyes. And then those can be colored in too. Now monster skin, you can decide what you want your monster skin to look like. You could do something with scales. if you have a scaly monster, I drew these scales on a practice one if you wanted a purple monster, and then this was my eye that I did on a practice paper. And when you squeeze these back triangles that I'm going to show you how to do in just a minute, your triangle can form an eye that opens and closes. And I'll show you that as soon as I've created this monster too with you. I'm just going to do some eyelashes, and I'm going to use my scrap paper again to do a line to show where that eye opens. So far, that's what the outside of my monster's eye looks like. And I think maybe I'll make this monster, I'll make it a little shade of purple, just for some contrast. Again, I'm going to use my scrap paper to help me to focus on the purple coloring. And I'm just going to do a light side of the crayon color added to it. And so there's a little color added. Now I'm going to show you how to take this hexagon and fold the sides so that it will pinch. Crease the center fold a little sharper so you know where that center is. And then bring your two flaps over so they touch in the middle. Then you're going to draw a line from the edge to that center line. And you are creating a diamond. This is what the diamond shape will look like. You're going to fold right along that diamond shape. That's going to give you your flaps to hold them while you pinch your eyes for your monster. So your monster will blink. Your monster eyes will blink. You could make two of these and then have two eyes. So this is what it looks like when it's folded. This folds in, this folds in, that folds in, and that folds in. And then when you pinch it, you will pinch it so that these two are together and these two are together. And if you want to show your friend your monster eyes, pinch them and then open, pinch, and open. And you've got your blinking monster eyes. Maybe you'd like to make your own eye for a pop-up origami eye. If so, the eye is more of a shape like this, and you can have your eyelashes on the outside, but you want to study your eyes. Look in the mirror and see what color you see for your eye. Often there's two colors that you can see, maybe two shades of green. I chose to make a human eye here, and I used two shades of green. And I'm not finished with it, but I concentrated with my circles, making the iris and the pupil of the eye, and leaving that little white spot on it, the little gleam in it, and that's what that one looks like. And then I also made one with more realistic colored, skin-colored paper, and I drew the eyelashes while it was closed, and then when you open it, this has bloodshot eyes, but I used two shades of brown for this one. So closed and pinch it and open. So there you have more of a realistic one. Here I have a dragon eye, and I used several colors here. I used turquoise, blue, and green. And this is what it looks like when it's closed, and then you pinch it, and then it opens. And I didn't finish this one yet either. And so just starting with the inside is the best way to go, and then you can go to the outside. Thank you for joining me today as we folded, drew, and decorated an origami monster eye. I hope you've enjoyed our time together creating the monster eye. Have fun creating.